Hello friends. So in the previous video, I had given you the basic information about the registration, how the exam is, who is conducting the exam, where you should make the payment and all. In this, we are going to go for more detailed and information which is regarding preparation material, exam structure, and some pre-test task and some other post-test task. For the experiences, I'll bring my friends who have already given and cracked GRE with scores as high as 340, 335. So, and we'll talk with them to gain their experience while preparing and while appearing for the exam, while during the exam phase. So in the general information, I had already discussed about the official website and the requirements for registration using your passport. For the payment, you need a credit card, and so sending free scores, timeline you should give by September and all. The general information about type of test, who needs to give, and where to check. Only to check on their official websites. And if there is some uncertainty, you are not clear, you must mail the graduate office and confirm. So now we are going to look at the pre-test task. That is, you should know the things before giving the test. So the structure of the exam and the preparation is, so there are three parts you need to prepare for this exam. There is verbal, quantitative, and analytical writing, which is the essay. So for essay, that you will give, when you appear for the exam, it will start with the essay, that is the analytical writing. It is also short formed as AWA, quant and verbal. So the first you need to give or write two essays, two analytical writings, each of 30 minutes. So 1 hour for analytical writing. One of the essay is issue, and then the second will be argument based. And I'll give you some examples from where to prepare everything. Will be clear in couple of minutes. Then next we have 5 sections, 2 plus 3 alternate sections of verbal and quantitative. So verbal is having 20 questions, and each verbal section will have 30 minutes. For quantitative, you will have 20 questions and you will have 35 minutes for each section. I'm saying alternate. So if it starts with verbal, so it is random. It may start, so after your essay, it may start with a verbal section or a quantitative section. It is completely random. If it starts with verbal, your sequence will be verbal, then quantitative, then verbal, then quantitative, then verbal. If it starts with quantitative, it will be first quantitative, then verbal, then quantitative, then verbal, then quantitative. Okay, that is clear to you. Then after you are done with all these 5 sections and 2 essay, you will have you will be shown the score for these sections, which are verbal and quantitative. The score for essay will not be shown. So you will have some time to view your score, and then you will have to send scores, which I have mentioned earlier while you register, while giving general information. So after you are done with the exam, immediately on the same PC, in your exam location at exam center itself, you need to send scores, which are for free universities, for free recipients, not universities. If the different departments need different scores to be sent to them, then you need to send scores individually, and they are counted as one recipient. So you can send free scores to 4 recipients, and you need to remember the ETS code for those departments or universities. If you like, obviously you have an option to search over there, but it will be too confusing that for you, because if I search for Texas A&M University, there will be at least 3 or 4 options. They will say Texas A&M University, they will say Texas A&M college station, they will say Texas A&M graduate school, they will say Texas A&M professional school. So you will be confused. So it is my advice, strong advice, so you remember the scores, the code for ETS, where you need to send your score. Now it is important for you to understand that the sections over here, the verbal and quantitative sections, are adaptive. So the questions you will face will be adaptive as per your previous section. So in the first section itself, it is a verbal section and you score very well. You give more correct answers. So if out of 20, if you are giving 15, 16 correct answers, then in the next section, which will be quantitative, you will face tougher questions. But that doesn't mean that if you score low in your tougher questions, you will get lower score. That is wrong. They are adaptive questions. That means if you in the previous sections, if you have scored well, if you are given more correct answers, in the successive section, you will get tougher questions. But that does not mean you will have low score if you are giving wrong answers for your tougher section. So for the tougher section, your weightages will shift. Tougher the section, more scores for more correct answer. Okay, so you you should understand that it is not linear marking. One question correct, one mark. It is not like that. You should put that in mind. Do not count your score while you are giving exams. It will just take away uh, your time and make you more anxious or nervous. Then there is one experimentation section. So I need to mention this, that the first two sections are the writing one. Those both essays will be counted for your score for S bands. So I'll explain the scoring also. So the essays are scored for bands. So there are 6 bands, and out of 6 you will get 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Anything can be given, and that is checked partially automatically in an AI system and partially by manual. Okay. These sections, verbal and quantitative, are MCQ only, multiple choice or single choice, and they are checked in the system itself automatically. There is no person checking those. And out of this 5, 2 and 3 of verbal and quantitative, added verbal and quantitative, one is an experimentation section whose scores is not counted. But which of these, verbal or quantitative, and exactly which verbal section and which quantitative section, you will not be knowing. So you should give all the sections as seriously as possible. You will not know which is the experimentation section and which section score is not counted. So you must consider all section equally important and give with sincerity. Now, going to the verbal part, that is the first part, which is the most important. Two things you need to consider while preparing. One is the vocabulary or the word list. And second, your skills of reading passage and finding answers from them. So it will depend on your reading skills, how fast you read, how fast you capture the information, how fast you process it and store it in your brain. Because you will have very short time, a lot of questions will be there. So it will completely depend on your, if you are reading so many novels or you are reading so many books, then it will be bit easier. And for a person like me who has less reading habit, whose vocabulary is very poor, and who gets confused in simple words, day-to-day words also sometimes, then it will be bit problematic. But it can be taken overcome in a very short time. If you are going through the same words repeatedly for some days, you will be clear with those words. So over here in verbal, you will always have 20 questions and 30 minutes. All the questions either will be based on a single sentence equivalence. So you will be given to complete the sentence. Maybe one sentence or two sentences will be there. Small passage, very two or three sentence passage. And there will be some phrases or some words in of those passages or the sentence which will be omitted and you need to fill. So there are possibilities of one omission, two omissions, and three omissions. So you will have one blank, two blanks, and three blanks. Okay. Then that is sentence equivalence part. That is the first type. The second type is the reading passages. So you will have multiple reading passages. At least you will appear for 4 or 5 reading passages. Each reading passage can have at least 2 questions or maximum of usually 5 questions. Okay. And those reading passages are really very tough. Or for sentence equivalent also, you will have the single blank, and two blanks will be usually easy for you. For three blanks, if you get at least any one of the blank wrong, your complete question will be considered as wrong. So it is very tough. You get all the three blanks exactly correct. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it is a bit tough. For reading passage, it will be a bit of easy questions which you can directly find from the passage, and there will be some where you need to use some of your brain. So uh, both things are not easy for a person like me. There are multiple sources. There are so many people suggesting different sources, uh, and I am not criticizing any one of the source. Everything is fine as per their convenience. If you have some money, you can put and buy some package, etc. So I have listed some of the the sources which I knew of. So these are GregMet. So GregMet has a official website also, and there is a YouTube channel also of GregMet. Then there is a word list of ANKI, Anki. Then there is another book which I used, so which is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. That is an exceptional book. It is going to give you the meaning of the words. So you will have uh, a basic structure of how the words are prepared from their roots and which are synonyms, antonyms. So if I used Word Power Made Easy, and it was exceptional book for me. It made my vocabulary much better and much clear about the word meanings, where to use. So if you are very poor in your vocabulary, I'll suggest you to go with this book of Word Power Made Easy. And the book, I'll show you the PDF version of the book also later. In the book, there are so many exercises after each chapter. So the chapter would be only of 2 or 3 pages, and then there will be exercises of 2 or 3 pages. I'll suggest you at the same time you are going to finish the chapter, reading the chapter, go with the complete complementary exercises which are given after that chapter. That will make your vocabulary very strong. Please do that immediately after you end. Please write. Do not just read through the exercise. Write the words. So that will add to your memory. Then there is Magus. Obviously, everyone knows that Princeton Review, Manhattan File. Then there is an old compilation of previous questions in this GRE big book. It is a very big book. And then there is obviously we have ETS official uh, documents which we can use. So what I used was ETS official things, Word Power Made Easy book, and GregMet for most of my work. I did not go through Magos, Princeton, Manhattan, nothing. I did use GRE big book also. Okay. Then for exam structure and preparation with respect to quantitative section. So over here, you need to be very clear. It is going to be very simple. The quantitative section for Indian students is going to be very easy. It is basic 10th standard mathematics plus some topics of 11th, 12th, which are usually probability and statistics, nothing else. So you should be known with the basic nomenclature of what are integers, what are rational numbers, whole numbers, natural numbers, real numbers. Complex numbers are not included. Obviously, they were introduced to us in our 11th, 12th standard. So complex numbers are not included. And the some of the basic formulas to calculate. And I will suggest also to remember the prime numbers, the list of prime numbers from 1 to 100. At least till 100, you should remember the prime number list. Then, so quantitative section is 20 minutes, 20 questions, and 35 minutes. You have 35 minutes for 20 questions. So you might, when you are preparing, you might think 35 minutes are too much. You can finish 40 questions in 35 minutes. That is double the number of questions given in the exam. But while giving the exam, you may make some silly mistakes. So when you are giving the exam, try like giving the mock or preparing, try to be as fast or as quick as possible and as attentive as possible so you do not make silly mistakes. I only used ETS official material, nothing else to prepare. And while giving the mock test, whatever concepts I had missed or formulas I had missed, that came through when I gave mock exam. You will usually make calculation mistakes and that will take away your marks. Incorrect assumptions. So that is also very big problem. Usually people make as per their visuals or how it is appearing. A dot is appearing on outside the circle, inside the circle, on the circle line, in the first quadrant, second quadrant. So you make assumptions as per your visuals, but that may be incorrect assumptions if they are not mentioned in the paper. So while making assumptions also, you should be very cautious. And I'll show you some official ETS official material also, which I used. Now for the analytical writing section, you need 3 skills: reasoning skill, critical thinking skill. And so critical thinking reasoning means criticizing, how you can criticize someone. It may be positive, it may be negative, it doesn't matter. And then you need a fast typing skill. So that will come with practice. So you need to write two essays, which are 30 minutes for each essay. First is the issue, second is the argument based, and source is again ETS material, official material only. Do not go to anything else. For checking how good your written essays, you can ask some of your friends, some of your seniors who have already appeared, and for sure go to Grammarly or some similar web page and check if you have not made any grammatical mistakes. For spelling error or grammatical mistakes or punctuation error, if your sentence is like if with the error, even if the sentence is with error, but understanding there is no doubt. If for understanding the thing, understanding the sentence, understanding the essay passage, if there is it is not making your eyebrows up, it is not having any unclarity. If there is some unclarity, there is some misconception, but it is clear, then it is enough. It is fine. Even if you have some spelling error, it is fine. It should be clear. If you are making some errors while writing, thinking, if the I is going there, I is coming up before K, anything, that is fine. It will not be a serious issue. But if this comma is coming ahead, comma is going there, then it is a serious issue. That can seriously change the meaning of the sentence you are typing. So you should not make such errors. But small punctuation errors, capitalization error and all will be taken, and you will have serious issues if there are so many punctuation errors. But do not be so much anxious about making small punctuation error. It is fine. Then about scores and cutoff. So as I said earlier, verbal and quantitative sections have marks. Each of those sections have 170 marks. And you have granted for given you have 140 marks already, or sorry, 130 marks already. So from 130 to 130, that is 40 marks which you need to bring. So that means if you give all your answers to verbal and quantitative section as wrong, all your answers are wrong, still you will get 130 and 130 in each, that is 260. So minimum marks for GRE are 260 and maximum are 340. So your task is to get 40 and 40. That is the additional 80 marks to get to reach 340. For the writing and essay writing thing, they are given as bands. So 6 band. So for both of your essay, they'll add the marks and make an average. So total marks will be 340 for maximum marks will be 340 for verbal plus quantitative and 6 bands for your essay. For cutoff, so your target should be for quantitative, you should get and you must get and you can easily get 170. For analytical also, you should have a target of 6 out of 6. Usually, verbal scores are not considered for universities. For verbal, that is the English proficiency, they'll take your TOEFL or IELTS score. For usual cutoff to top universities, top 50, 70 universities based on QS ranking or US news ranking, they'll not even consider your application if you have given quantitative score less than 165. Only above 165 is competitive enough to get into such high ranked universities. For analytical writing, usual cutoff will be 3.5 out of 6. Verbal scores will usually be not considered. Post-test tasks will are very less. So if your score is not good and you seriously need to send score to a university or a department, you may consider for retest. Otherwise, you can go ahead sending scores. So if it was unclear for you whether the university or the department requires scores or not, you can contact the university graduate school office and confirm and then send scores. Pay for the sending scores, that is $27 per recipient, and send your score. Some of the sources I had already mentioned while I was explaining. There are some of the links I have, and now I'll show you the official documents also. Thank you. So let's come to my official documents. For maths, over here I have maths convention, which is from ETS GRE. Do not go to anything else, ETS GRE only. Maths convention, and it gives you all the conventions. So you will be able to uh, brush up all your basics use easily. And it will also make you know about what assumptions to make and what assumptions not to make during the exam. The assumptions sometimes are very common, but they are wrong. So you should know what the things are. Then there is another PDF I have, which is ETS math review. So it will list all the topics which you need to review for your exam. And though it says it is 200 pages, we can complete the whole 200 pages in 6 to 8 hours only. So over here, you will be able to revise all your concepts and take examples. And at the end, there are also the exercise for you. Over here, there is exercise and the answers are also provided. So you can so you can practice. That's all you need for maths, nothing else. Thank you. Then we'll go to the English thing. So this was word power made easy. The other name is 30 days to a more powerful vocabulary. Over here, you have chapters, as I said, very small chapters, and then exercise. So 2 or 3 pages of exercise, and it is recommended you write with your pen and pencil and complete the exercise. Do not just read through the exercise because answers are just given over there. Then we have file B, Manhattan file B book, GregMed. So as I said earlier, GregMed we have vocabulary PDF is available for GregMed for all the word list. Then for argument and issue based. So over here they have on the ETS GRE website official. They have given one example, a question, and essay response score 6. So they have given answers for score 6, score 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, everything. So you can get an idea about how much you write, how much mistakes you make, and how much score you get. Okay. Let's now go and get so over here for preparation, all the material is available. So all the PDF which I showed on my Adobe can be seen over here also. For verbal, they have now given practice now. For quantitative, for analytical, everything is given. For math review also, they have put so many links or of different open source materials. So Khan Academy material is also listed over here. Now for analytical writing, what you need to do? Okay, you you can go to Google, write GRE issue pool, and you will get a list. You will get a page of official GRE pool of issue topics. Similarly, you have pool of argument topics. Over there, all the possible issue topics, all possible issue topics. These are the possible issue topics which you can face. So all the issue topics are listed over here. And you will not face any issue topic out of this list. Obviously, this is a list, at least a very long list of around 200, 300 essay topics. So you can every day, if you want to practice some 50, 5, 10 issue topics and 5, 10 argument topics, you can randomly open this website, go to a random issue topic, just blindly take it. Do not read and then decide if you want to take, just blindly take it, open your notepad, copy this, open your notepad, then read and type and just go through like start preparing for your essay and type. So when you are typing, if you type this, you will know that you are not shown the grammatical mistakes, anything. That's the same when you go to uh, appear for your exam. So you need to make sure if you are typing the correct words or not. Over there, the PCs are comfortable enough. It's not uncomfortable to type. So do not worry about that. Over here, I need to, I should swear this, that while we are jumping with words, if I press control and then arrows, then I can I am jumping directly with the first word, second word, third word, and so. But this will not happen to your actual exam platform. So this shortcut, this shortcut will not work. That's what I wanted to say. Similarly, like this is issue pool. In the same way, the uh, argument pool is also available. You just need to write GRE pool of argument topics, and you will find all the topics. Then let's come to GRE Gregmet. Over here, it has been tell that they take only $5 a month, and this is affordable enough. And it is true, $5 is nothing. Now it has all the free resources also listed down, and recommended resources are there, which are usually paid. This GRE or official things are paid of GRE, but for vocabulary, it has list of 900 words as of now. So all the things which are available, which I have shown, are available over here for of Gregmet. Also, you can go to its YouTube videos. So these are the YouTube video links which they have attached over here. Everything is over here on Gregmet website. Then another one thing which I came through, like come to know recently, was this Anki. So it has also all the words listed. So it's 09 notes. You can just download that. That is the first list, and this is another list, second list. So you can download this and use it. Obviously, for preparing for words, you can also use Maku's flashcard app and all, as per your convenience, your ability to remember your basics of vocabulary, etc. Okay. If you have any queries, still you can you can definitely ask me. All the resources I have will be shared through a folder on Google Drive. Thank you.